Alrighty, well, welcome back. So, today, back down to 211 and 3/4. We're going to say, yeah, I think that's down from yesterday. I don't remember yesterday's weigh-in. I think it was 212/4. But either way, so 211 3/4 this morning. So we've kind of been a stall on our weight, right? Like, I want to say probably closer to 2.5 or 3 weeks. We've been in this 208 to 211 like bubble. And some of it definitely, a little self-caused. But even with that previously, we'd still be making progress, and we kind of stalled a little bit. So, the cool thing about today's internet and access to social media is, you're following quite a few fit people, if this is what you're into. One of them is TikTok's Jay Jack, and decided to shoot him a message yesterday like, hey, I don't know if you're really going to have an answer for me or anything, but this is, what I've accomplished so far. Kind of been stuck here for a couple of weeks. What do you recommend? He asked, what am I taking? What are my calories and my macros? So I send him the info, and he's like, okay, kind of what I figured. He's like, I think you are too low in calories because I've been in this deficit or this calorie mark since I started the cut, right? And he's like, what I think has happened is even though you've lost weight and you haven't decreased the calories anymore, you have reached a point to where, like, basically it's a false adaptation and your body is trying to retain all of its body fat because it still thinks it's starving. So his recommendation was add another 100 grams of carbs and maybe 15 grams of fats. So not going to quite go that far into it, but I did add an extra bowl of cream of rice, 2 scoops, 70 grams of cream of rice, 240 calories. And so I'm going to add that to my middle meal. So that'll be now part of my post-workout, my post-lift meal. So I did do it yesterday, and the scale went down a smidgen. So he wants to see what this does over the next 1 to 2 weeks, so 7 to 14 days, and, track the weight. So I'll make a little Google Sheets or just a little note thing with today's date and weight, which I kind of track it on like a 7-day spread anyways. I just don't write it down. But what I'm trying to say is when you're running into issues, like, you don't have to be afraid to ask people. In general, most people are willing to, give you a little information to point you in the right path. Now, are they going to hold your hand? No. Are they going to get real annoyed with you if you're hitting up 24/7 type of thing? 100%. So unless, like, you're paying them as a coach or something, you got to keep that in mind. But the worst that somebody's going to be able to tell you if you just ask them a little simple question, you give them the facts they want real quick, and go ahead and give whatever they try a shot. And if they tell you, hit them back up, then you do so. Otherwise, you give what they've given you a shot. If it works, shoot them a text. Hey man, thanks for the information. Greatly appreciated. Thanks for your time. Now, I don't know much about, if he's a trainer or a coach, if he owns a business, any of that. I just like his TikToks, and I started following because of a cream of rice TikTok. So, but what I can tell you, dude's jacked as fuck. So, no matter what, we can all agree on one thing. Motherfucker puts in work. Dude's figured it out for himself. And he may have some information that most people may not have. Or may not understand as well as he does on something to manipulate. So, he gave me information yesterday, and like I said, so thank you. I appreciate the information. I wouldn't have thought at all that I was, low in calories. Because even the calorie calculators all tell me I should be 250 below where I am right now. But those calculators don't take in for genetics. They don't take in for if you're enhanced. They don't take in for how much cardio are you doing? How much resistance training are you doing? Are you eating super clean? Or are you eating kind of dirty? They also don't account for how long have you been dieting for already? Or is it just a start? So, there's kind of a lot of flaws inside of going on, well, this is what my calories should calculate to reach X goal. Because there's a lot more information that kind of goes into that. But, so with that, we'll see what kind of happens. We'll see if that also too kind of fixes the every 10 to 13 days I run into super low energy and really flat pumps. And that's kind of what triggers those cheat meals, right? Because it's okay, I'm just so depleted. I need to top myself back up. And at the same time, that could also be causing, the weight swing. But that's kind of where we're at for today on what we're going to make a change on and where that change is starting from. But with that, guys, make sure you're out there working towards your goals, getting your stuff done, and most of all, just don't be a lazy fuck.